Hello, everyone. Apologies for what happened. Um, uh, Apologies for what happened. Our stream cut out. Um, and I'm trying to I've been trying to fix it. My laptop just died. It like exploded on me. But we are going to continue the conversation. Um, Unfortunately, you won't be able to see our faces. I'm sorry. Right now, this version of me is really small. There we go. You won't be able to see our faces in the thing, because I think if I choose to screen record Zoom, my laptop just can't handle it. So we're just gonna keep it simple and stick with like a bit of a graphic, but we'll continue the conversation. So, anyways, thank you anyone who's stuck around. Sorry, sorry for the technical difficulties. But yeah, I'll get back to the boys.
And they're just not doing it right.
You seen Suicide Squad?
Yeah, the new one and the first
Yeah,
one, yeah.
Okay, boys, we're, we're
yeah.
we're back on. I was just doing a bit of an intro for the the um the live thing to explain what happened. But anyways, we are back, and I knew I was muted. Um, I
We're
was talking about, yeah. Okay.
talking smack.
So talking smack, yeah, talking smack down. Where
Smack it down.
slay us, the smack us down. Where were we? Where were we? I think we are
Phase
on Fitzy's thoughts
4.
about Phase 4.
Um, yeah. Look, baseball has been the most invested I've been. I'll go into this more when we do the Black Widow podcast, but I actually really like the Black Widow movie. It's suits my style and what sort of movie I like.
Mm.
I enjoyed all the series, but I think the things that brought down, like, say for WandaVision, I loved WandaVision, but what made it hard with WandaVision was it relied so much on the twist. The twist of what's going on. And then halfway through the series, they say it's Wanda. And I'm like, oh, wow, they revealed it. But then they leave it going to be like, but wait, there's more. It's not what you think. It's not, like, it makes you feel like it's a misdirection.
Yeah.
Then you get to the end of the series and it's like, yeah, it was Wanda. And then, like, I read what the directors say, and the director's like, yeah, it was Wanda. We told you ages ago. Like, I've I read a lot for what the directors were saying, and I feel like they weren't. While they did a good job of the series, they weren't versed with Marvel, because they were like, "Oh, we had no idea that at the end of an episode when we said, oh, that the scientist dude's going to come in the next episode, people will think that's Mr. Fantastic, or we don't know why people thought Mephisto was going to come into this,
Yeah.
or I thought people knew it was Wanda. We never meant to. Like, it was just all these things. I'm like, you set up the show, like, and then they kept blaming the fans. They're saying, "Oh, the
Yeah.
fans, it's all their fault." It's like, you you set up the show and you left all these Easter eggs and these hints to things, like, you set up for people to theorize. And even like with Quicksilver, like, of course people are going to look at that. Like, maybe 10 years ago they'll look and think, oh yeah, no, that's not Quicksilver. They're not willing to take such a feat. But where Marvel's at, you have Quicksilver come in like that, and it's the act from the X-Men. You can't say, oh, well, we never intended that to be Quicksilver. We don't know. Again, it's the same thing. We have no idea how people thought that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, and then
Surely they
and then
know the
they,
implications.
yeah. And I think maybe and possibly, again, it was this case where they brought in great TV directors who just have not been versed in Marvel and understand it's not just like making any other series.
Mm.
Because they probably, like, I wouldn't be surprised they had to get him into a room with Feige, and Feige's like, look, I know you don't understand, but when you say in an episode that an astronaut is coming in the next, or, like, was it an astronomical engineer? What was he?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If you leave that, people are going to think it's Mr. Fantastic. It's not their fault. It's your fault. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah. And I guess the last thing I'll say on that is, again, Paul Bettany came out and was like, "Oh, there's going to be a massive cameo in this,"
Oh, that was
and
so
then later
funny.
on, he was like, "Sorry guys, it was me. It was a joke." And it's like, again, it's a funny joke, but this whole show is built on big reveals, and this is Marvel. Like, so I think if they just set it up better, which was like, yeah, we're revealing who it is mid show, so you can just focus on the themes of the show, I would have enjoyed it better. But
Mm.
when I got to the last episode, I was like, I am so keen what they're going to reveal. You know, it's going to be amazing. When I was like, this was fine, but I knew this 4 episodes back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I-
that's the downside for the Phase 4 for me. I'll let you talk, Robin.
Yeah, I think surely they realize how big they've gotten to the point where they know that putting certain, I guess, Easter eggs in a sense in will imply something. Who knows, unless they're still hiding something, but to not give it to us within that series is just like that puts a lot of fans off. I'd argue.
Well, again, they had that scene where they're like, "Oh, the devil's in the details," and then it's like the scene stops, and Agatha says, "That's not all he is in," and you know, again, they're like, "Oh, that was just a line." That's why I like what they did in Loki. That in the first episode, when they showed the devil, that quickly the directors came out and said, "That's not Mephisto. We're telling you now, it's not Mephisto. We're setting it straight from the get-go." Because I think they knew. They're like, "We're not following the same. We're not going down this path again."
Yeah. But again, I think it shows the potential of where they could go moving forward. But I will say, if not for WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier for disappointing us, I wouldn't have thought they would have gone where they did in Loki in introducing Kang. I really didn't. I mean, prior to that, I would have said,
was shocked.
Yeah. I was genuinely shocked because they hadn't done that at all. But to actually go there and through a show, it was awesome. And it was done well. It was delivered very well.
Yeah, like even up to the castle, I was like, no, it's just going to be Loki. It's got to be, because like I've been down this before. I'm not going down this again. And then all of a sudden it's Kang. I'm like, I literally sat there in shock the whole time. Like, am I really watching this now? Like,
it was brilliant. Okay, so from the shows, the only movie we've gotten so far is Black Widow, and I do want to touch on it because I mean we'll go into different depth on it on Sunday with the other boys, but I guess for now, as far as the first movie in Phase 4, was this supposed to be the first one?
I think so, yeah.
It didn't feel like a Phase 4 movie because it's set in that time gap. Like it feels like it sits in Phase 3, which it does, but like chronologically.
But you did have the consequences of adding what's her name, Valentine,
yes,
and Florence, which is where you started to feel those Phase 4 vibes.
And we still don't know who she is and what she's doing.
Yeah.
and the additional characters.
Yeah.
That we're starting to see as well. Yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was pretty funny in parts.
I think Marvel's figured it out in a sense when it comes to the movies. Like it went as I expected. So yeah, I'd say that.
I'll throw in because I know this. I feel like this movie's going to get a lot of hate on Sunday, but
yeah,
I think the reason why I love it so much is, again, you know, I love films that deal with deep themes, and I felt like the way they dealt with the themes in this film was fantastic. And again, I feel like I haven't seen a spy film like that since the Bourne films, or even like, you know, even like the later James Bond films. But it's been a while, and that we've gotten such a fantastic spy thriller like that.
Yeah.
So, and even the way they dealt with the themes, but you know, I was expecting the whole sibling thing going on between Natasha and Elena to be really corny. I thought, oh, this is going to be crap, but honestly,
it was entertaining.
Yeah,
it was fantastic,
and
I owe that all to Elena, and I can't believe I blanked on the actress's name because I really like the
Florence
actress.
Pugh.
Yeah, Florence Pugh, and she was fantastic. Even the part where she's like,
bro.
"No, she's fantastic, man." But like, even when she's like,
Malika's reasons are different to your reasons.
Oh yeah, I know. But like, even when she's making fun of her about the stance, like, that could have came off so corny, but she just does it so well. It's like, you know, like, and even like,
that was great.
And like even the whole thing with the song, that could have been like, oh, this is Marvel, doing a hit song and overkilling it. But I actually loved it. Like, I was singing that song for weeks after that, watching the movie, and even the
American
way
Pie
like
song?
Red Guardian. Yeah, I thought they
Yeah.
did that fantastic.
All right, yeah. Yeah.
Because like even like the way the Red Guardian does it, because like
Yeah.
it's just great to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you weren't a real father. You're just, and he's been an idiot through the whole movie, and then he just starts singing that song just to be like, I do remember stuff. I did have a sentimental side to myself, and and look again, and this is the qualm with it with Taskmaster, and we'll go into this, Robin, but I understand why people don't like Taskmaster, but I think I had the luck of not being invested in the character, and that's why I wasn't mad about it, because I didn't know the character from previous portrayals.
Yeah. I think. All right. So in regards to Natasha and the family, I think it was a bit of a different thing than we've gotten in the Marvel universe. Because we haven't gotten a proper like family like that, where you actually see the dynamics between them. But at the same time, they're also awkward with one another. They don't know how to act, and that fits Natasha's personality in the series. Because, and again, it's not even her real family. So the dynamic between them, the back and forth, the humor was great. I think in regards to Taskmaster, I get you, because I react the same when I've watched this new He-Man series, the Masters of the Universe, and people hate it because they do whatever they do with He-Man and Skeletor. But
Wait, they do something with Skeletor too.
Haven't you seen the first episode?
No, I watched the '80s series. I'm too scared to watch the new one because I'm worried they got a Taskmaster.
Well, yeah, I might as well give you the heads up now. They do something, right? And a lot of people don't like it for that, like the direction it's going. It's they haven't like killed them off like they're gone. They've just focused on other characters more, which
not watch it.
Yeah, I thought so. And that's how I feel about Taskmaster in Black Widow. Like, I won't go as far as to say I'm not going to watch it, but they did him dirty, like, or they did her, whatever. They did. Spoilers, but yeah, if you haven't seen it, like, seriously, watch it already. Actually, anyways, yeah, they went a completely different direction. I'll probably go into more detail when we do the podcast on it, but I wasn't a big fan of it, and I think they gave her like a line or two, which is very not Taskmaster-esque. But I do like the innovation they did in regards to how this version of Taskmaster picks up skills, like using technology and whatnot, watching back fights, those like types of enhancements. I thought that was cool, rather than just he has photographic muscle memory or something. So yeah. Actually, I touched on how the experience of watching this in the cinema could be very different to watching at home. Currently, the world we're all in different circumstances right now. I think there's some states in America that are free to go to the theaters. There's some states in Australia that's the same deal. But currently for us, the theaters aren't opened. So I guess I was going to ask, like, how has it been for you guys watching at home versus watching in the cinemas? How do you think it's affected the box office and whatnot?
Well, in today's box office charts, what do you mean, like, affected us personally, or?
I guess so, because, yeah. Like, how has it been? Like, do you prefer it, or what? Like, pros and cons, I guess, of it all, of watching at home or not being able to watch at home, stuff like that.
Is Mark still there? I'll let him talk.
Nah, he's not. He disappeared. I can go first.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've still got the headphone in.
Well. Okay, you can go.
Oh, you going?
I was gonna, because I thought you were gone, but since you're here.
I was going to say, you can look at the
Rise of the Cobra.
Please, God, no.
I think watching them in the movies, like, when it's with the boys, it's better than just sitting at home watching it. Other than that, it doesn't affect me. Like, it doesn't bother me a whole lot. Like, it's more the atmosphere of just being with people watching a movie. But like, watching it at home, doesn't annoy me that much.
I think I've over theatered myself, like especially during like when we were let out of lockdown. I went and saw every movie. I went and saw the Dark Knight trilogy at the movies.
Right.
Like, so weirdly enough, I think I got to a point where I was like, I need a break from the movies, but I really want to see these movies.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing I missed out on was I would have liked to have seen it with mates. And we were able to do like watch parties and all that, but it's better watching it with friends. And like, but then like even so, like look at like with Shang-Chi. Like if that doesn't come out on Disney Plus, then like I don't know, because like with Suicide Squad, like I ended up reading the plot of Wikipedia, which is crap. But I did it because I was like, I really want to know what's going to happen. But the way it's looking, it's going to be months till I see this movie. Like, and that's what I'm worried about with Shang-Chi. It's like, well, I wonder what's in it. I'll be looking up stuff, and then on like the movie sites, it'll be like, oh, so and so was revealed in Shang-Chi, or this is what Shang-Chi is going to mean for the next. And I'm like, so I got to wait months till I find all this out. Like, I don't know. It's kind of that's more where I'm at with it.
Yeah, not doing the digital releases is annoying.
Yeah,
especially that we're locked down, and like as annoying as it is, Victoria's doesn't look like it's coming out anytime soon, and New South Wales isn't coming out anytime soon. So we're probably not watching.
I thought you guys came out for a bit.
Yeah, for like 3 days. So yeah, but
the way, 3 days.
The way it's going, like no one in our group is watching this movie anytime soon.
Not in the theaters. Oh, yeah. and again in digital release. I think for me, the home movie experience has been pretty good. Like I haven't minded. I've enjoyed it. I watch a lot of stuff with my parents anyway and my family, so like I don't mind it. Obviously, the cinema. Out of lockdown, I don't think I watched any more than I usually do. I go to theaters a lot, but not to the point of burning myself out.
Oh no, you do. You watch more movies than me, Robert. You just don't burn yourself out.
Yeah, I guess I love the theater, but I can live. I shouldn't say that, but like I'm cool. I've been alright without it. It's just obviously it's not the same atmosphere. Like I guess to me, I feel like this would be awesome in the cinema, but I'm not mad that I didn't see it at the cinema. Right, I just think it's another what if scenario,
Real life what if.
I think I really wish they would keep the digital releases, and it makes me wonder if that's just a money move on Disney's part, because maybe they thought they didn't make as much as they could have with Black Widow or Jungle Cruise or whatever, or any not just Disney, any service out there. Are they continuously delaying because they think they'll make more? Have they not made enough from streaming?
Aren't they getting like 80 million? Like, aren't they getting like 30, 40 million opening weekends?
Well, like box office or streaming?
Just from streaming. Aren't they getting stupid amounts of cash from streaming?
That's what I would have thought.
I feel like the figures don't get released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen. All I see is box office.
No, I don't know.
Well, but that's what I don't understand. Like, they've made this big deal about, like with Black Widow, with how it's affected the profits that the actors are making. But, Warner Brothers did the deals, and they had, Suicide Squad and all these other movies on the HBO Max. And it's like, so was it an issue with how they negotiated the apps? Or, the streaming apps? Or, I don't know.
Makes you wonder, eh?
But I think it's also like, and less, I know it sounds bad, but the way movies are now, I feel like there's less risk. Like with a Marvel movie, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
But say like, I don't know, I'm keen for, say, Top Gun Maverick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Paramount Plus has just been released. If Top Gun Maverick comes out on Paramount Plus, then if it ends up being trash, I can watch it and think, you know what, it wasn't much of a risk. But if I'm spending like $30 at the movies, I'm sitting down, I'm ready for a good movie, and it ends up being trash, I'm like, then I leave with the experience of being like, well, that was crap, So it's like, I don't know. It's less risk in that regard.
But you do pay. Oh, I guess you get to keep the movie anyway, assuming you pay the $30
Yeah, true.
for the streaming.
Mm.
Anyways,
Moving along.
I guess moving along, we could try venture into the whole Scarlett Johansson situation. And I don't know. There's a lot saying that we should be mad at her, but there's also a lot saying that we should be mad at Disney. What did she end up getting? 20 million?
Oh, was it settled?
20 million. Who you think you got? Just Clinton.
Yeah. Oh well, no, it's nowhere near being settled. I think it's got ages till it gets settled. But so far she's made 20 million. But I think she's set to make more, or she should get more. It's a hard topic to talk about, but I guess from my point of view, I wonder if they're considering the audience at all, like us as fans. Like, I mean, a theater release is ideal for, I guess, if Scarlett Johansson or whatever is relying on box office, but there's still a lot of people who can't see the movie, like, at all. Disney's point is that they've avoided. I don't really understand Disney's point, but anyway, you go. Were you gonna say something?
Well, it's like what's the movie? No Time to Die. Like, apparently they're losing a lot of money on that movie every time they delay it, from what I'm aware.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're banking on, they're like, but everyone's so keen for this IP that we're going to make all that money back and more when this comes out. I feel like regardless of if the movie's good or not, that's such a risk to take. And then on the other end, you look at Shang-Chi, they're relying completely on the box office. But again, like, I don't know, and I've said this before, I'm not sure if in certain international markets, if a semi-supernatural movie is well received, and then all the other markets are affected by Delta. So how much is this movie going to make? It's just, I don't know. It's like, Disney made the point. We're in a difficult time. So I don't know the whole context, but maybe it's more of a question of how they negotiate the profits, rather than being like, oh, this shouldn't go on streaming. It should have the proper cinema experience. Like, work out other ways to have the actors gain the same sort of profits they would get from a box office. Like, can't they get profits from the people that are spending money on the premiere access? Like,
I think that's the question being asked. Like, it seems apparently that Disney held back the profits they received off streaming services, and gave only what she got from box office to her, which was the deal. But had obviously, I think they were assuming from, I think ScarJo's case is that if it was strictly theater release, then she would have made more. I think they're just saying that Disney's keeping all the stream profits for themselves, and that's what they should be sharing, not just the box office.
No,
costs.
Because like, if she's saying, "Oh, I could have made more," then like look, Charlize Theron. Oh God, that came out on Netflix, was super popular. We never heard anything from Charlize Theron. Like, the question, there's got to be a way, because there's a lot of successful streaming movies out there, and this is the first time that we've heard an actor really complain, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Like, we even got a Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Gal Gadot movie coming out on Netflix next year, or at the end of this year. I don't know. So the question is it a Disney Plus problem, and how they're paying their actors? I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like it could be solved so easily. There was just one comment that Scarlett Johansson made that I wasn't too, like, it was a bit of a big assumption to make. She was like in regards to why she was justifying making this case, she was like, regardless of whether you're making 20 million or $20, if you if you deserve to earn more, you got to talk about it. But at the same time, there's a big gap between $20 million and $20 an hour. Like,
And again, yeah, exactly. And again, like someone in like COVID who has lost their job and is struggling to like provide for their family reads that, it comes off very.
I think
I won't say it, but yeah.
From both sides, there are elements that sound like it's just money, like it's all it is. But at the same time, I do hope they take into consideration these circumstances. Like, not all of us can go to the theaters, and I don't know. It's a messy situation, and you just hope they sort it out. Because we're in like those of us in lockdown need good content.
But look what James Gunn did. I mean, he solved that problem by being like, hey, look, after this movie, John Cena, I'm giving you a TV series. Like, this is just the beginning.
I think people are assuming because Disney will be open to. They've said, I think they've cut ties with it, but I think eventually they reckon they'll be open to taking her back. But I think her story's done anyway, and I don't think she herself will want to come back. But I think they were able to do it with James Gunn. James Gunn came back, so you know.
I don't think look, I think it's I'm from what I hear, Marvel's a great place to work, but I don't think it's as at the end of the day it is a business. And we've seen with like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, and even with ScarJo, it's like once they're gone, they're gone. They don't really have ties to this. And I think Chris Hemsworth's staying on, not so much because he's passionate about Marvel, but because him and Taika, like they've kind of been able to create their own culture within Marvel. So I don't know. I think there's just this big perception that they're a big, not saying they aren't at all, but they're just this big one happy family, and money doesn't come into it. But
if only.
Yeah.
All right. Final thing I was going to talk about was, I guess, our future projects. Like, we've started on already the Marvel movies outside of the MCU. And we're looking to, I guess, venture into the Disney Plus series that they have. Maybe What If? I don't know. We'll see. But in regards to future projects, well, I know Malik is keen on Lord of the Rings. I know David is doing already a DC thing, but are there any other things you guys would have had in mind in regards to what we could do for our future discussions?
A larger guest star fan base for DC heads.
Okay, yeah. So that's out there. Any DC fans, reach out. Because DC heads.
Mark, I'm talking to you now. Please come on to my Man of Steel podcast, please.
Tell me when it is so I can watch it.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm like, oh, can you come onto the Steel podcast? No, not watching that movie. Okay, what movie are you willing to watch? Doesn't hear from you for days. And then it's finally, I'll fine, I might do one of the DC. Okay, which DC? It's like this ongoing negotiation.
I told you I would do Man of Steel when you asked, but I said, when are you doing it so I can watch it? Because I haven't watched that movie in years.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm still in the process of editing the Batman and Robin podcast, so it's going to be a while.
Cool invite.
You wouldn't have watched it anyway.
You wouldn't have watched Batman and Robin.
Please.
You know what? I'm pretty sure we've actually got it on video.
Nice. I thought I had it. But that's pretty sick.
I think
to be honest, I actually think
we've got most of the original ones on video. I think
that's mad.
I actually think Chance was like mad at me by the end of the podcast, thinking, "Why did you make me watch this movie? Why am I talking about this movie?"
It's a good thing Chance just loves his podcast. So,
but even then, it was a stretch for him.
Is because a little while ago somebody requested V for Vendetta. Is that a DC franchise?
Yeah, that's hang on, I'm looking at it. DC Vertigo. Yep, DC.
Okay, well that's for that podcast then. Because someone specifically requested it.
V for Vendetta.
Which is
was it a random or someone we know?
It was my cousin's girlfriend.
She's like her biggest fan.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind doing Lord of the Rings just because I don't know how I feel about the movies. I've loved them at times and I've disliked them at times. So now I just want to, I don't know, get a good sit down and properly watch them and talk about them.
There are no times when it's dislike. All it is love for those movies.
Mate, look, I understand. Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to go into it.
I'd give those movies 10 out of 10 just from their soundtrack.
Oh, the flipping soundtrack.
Lord of the Rings soundtrack is easily top 3 soundtracks ever made for a movie.
Can I ask,
Howard Shore is an absolute genius.
Have you seen
no.
Tenet?
No.
It's
okay, because I'm just interested to know how you like the soundtrack in that.
Was that Hans?
No, it wasn't.
Who was
it was
Hans?
one of his prodigies, I think, because it was similar. One of his, one of his underlings.
What Lord of the Rings soundtrack, you can literally listen to it and you'll know exactly what part of the movie it is.
The problem is
the soundtrack.
The problem is it's a 3-hour soundtrack.
And I've listened to it multiple times.
Yeah, that's you. I mean, I can watch a 3-hour movie, but it just takes a bit of time and energy, especially when I've seen it time and again.
And the extended versions as well. It's like you're studying.
Return of the King is 4 hours if you do extended version.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
exactly, man. Like,
it's great.
See, you know how you felt during Justice League? It's the same.
At least Justice League was in segments.
That's true.
No, but see, I go back on my point and I say I would give Snyder's Justice League a higher rating
if
it was the first release of the movie.
First and only. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but I can't get the memory of Whedon's out of my head, and that's what it annoys me because I want to give the movie a higher rating, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems bloated.
Keen for the Justice League podcast.
I just going to say this before we move on. You said about knowing what scene. You know the song that plays? Oh, I forgot. It's when they're running and it's like a high pitched woman. You know, do you know what I'm talking about? They running.
They run a lot of times in that movie.
No, but it's like a woman at a very high pitch and it's very dramatic. It's like almost funeral.
They're taking the Hobbits to Isengard, not that one.
They're taking the Hobbits to Isengard.
The remix.
Or is it actually fits? Is it the bit when Faramir is
in the first movie?
In the first movie?
Yeah.
I was thinking of a different scene.
Maybe it's straight after Gandalf dies.
Fly.
Anyway, I'll send it to you guys later. But anyway, So I first heard that song. Well, maybe I forgot about it, but I heard that song in the Man of Steel teaser trailer, and I thought this is such an amazing soundtrack for this trailer. But then when I heard it in Lord of the Rings, I was like, but I could only remember it from the Man of Steel trailer. So you're saying to me, if you hear a piece of music, you remember it from Lord of the Rings. I remember it from it being ripped off on a trailer. It's
wait, doesn't Lord of the Rings use the original
Lord of the Rings
music?
Lord of the Rings would have come first.
No, Man of the Steel ripped it off Lord of the Rings. They got the soundtrack and put it in the trailer.
Really? Did they just use the same melody or they used the actual song?
No, it was the actual song. They used the actual song.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Oh. Do you want to send which trailer it is?
Yeah, send us a trailer. I want to listen to it.
Yeah, I'll just play it now.
Actually, I'm gonna end the stream.
Okay.
I'm just gonna mute myself for a bit.
Do we have to rare out?
I mean, no. I mean, you can rare right now if you want.
Rare.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry I couldn't get this working as well as I'd like to. Just couldn't get the Zoom screen share to stream as smoothly. My laptop's just so weak, so that's why it's like this. But hopefully you got a good insight from our discussions. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Look forward to our episodes in future. I think next up we'll be doing Black Widow, and hopefully soon when we got all the boys, we'll do our phase fantasy draft. So looking forward to that. Anyways, have a great weekend. Take care. Thank you anyone who watched. Yeah, keen for whatever we do next.